Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into what is ahead for you in the next 6 months. So this is a timeless reading. Whenever you all feel drawn to view the video, there is likely a message that's here for you. So whether you're viewing it the day that I upload it or a year from the day that I upload it, if you feel called to watch, please go ahead and do. So what we'll be looking into are sort of the overall energies, events, and situations of significance that you all may want to be aware of headed your way the next 6 months. Getting into our disclaimers, keep in mind that this is a general reading. So some of the messages that are within this reading may be quite specific and resonant to your situation. Others of the messages might not. So if it doesn't feel like it fully fits your situation, simply just release it and let it go. Please don't take it personal or allow it to get you upset if something doesn't feel like it resonates with your personal situation. Again, it's not a personal reading, it is general. Keep in mind too, guys, that with any of these look ahead into the future type of readings, what the reading is really giving you is a snapshot of where you're potentially headed based off of the current energy. Nothing is set in stone, right? Future can be shifting and changing at all times depending on the choices and decisions that we make in the present. So if you feel that something is predicted out for you in this video and you don't feel excited to welcome whatever that is into your life, just rest assured that you have the free will to change up your path, change your actions, switch up your energy, and create a totally different 6-month outlook for yourself. If you did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can book one with me will be linked in the description box down below. Personal readings are a great way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal situation. All right, let's go ahead and get into our pile selection. So we're going to be doing 3 readings today. Starting off with pile number 1, we are going to be working with this Fluorite sphere. I love this. To me, it always reminds me of a watermelon. Okay. For pile number 2, we will be working with this Kyanite sphere. For pile 3, we're going to be working with this Pyrite sphere. So I want you guys to take a deep breath. Think about the next 6 months and what's in store for you. Go ahead and select the crystal or the card that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will take you to your selected reading. See you there. Hey there, pile 1. If you guys selected the Fluorite sphere, this will be your reading. So we will be looking into what is ahead for you in the next 6 months. Again, this is a timeless reading, so messages can resonate for you whenever you're guided to view the video. So let's go ahead and start with your overall energy, then we're going to jump into tarot. We're going to be getting a lot of detail and information today with lots of different decks. So hopefully you guys are ready for a longer reading. Let's get in. So overall energy for your next 6 months, we have the Mentor, which is beautiful. So, wow, some of you guys could be, some of you all could be in this sort of mentorship role in some way. Others of you could be under the care of a mentor during this time. I want to get into the tarot and then we'll jump into more with that card. So for pile 1, please tell us what is ahead for them in the next 6 months. Clarifying this energy of the Mentor, please. Working with the Wheel of the Year Tarot today. If anyone is curious, all decks are always listed in the description box below. Oh, wow. We've got a 2 of Cups. Page of Wands. We have a 9 of Swords. And the Devil. All right. We're going to set this to the side. So what is ahead for you guys in the next 6 months? Well, I see you guys being in a relationship that's significant, that's being highlighted here with the Two of Cups. With the Page of Wands being next to it, for some of you, I feel this could actually be a newer relationship coming into your life. Now, in this card, it is depicting a romantic relationship, and this is kind of the energy that I'm mostly getting from the spread here. But keep in mind, this is a general reading. So for some of you, this relationship might be a different type of relationship than just romantic. So just go with what your intuition is telling you. With the Page of Wands here, I do feel that this could be a relationship that is newer, because the page is typically a newer sort of energy. For others of you, this feels like something, or for others of you, this could be something where you're infusing more excitement and spontaneity into your current relationship of significance. But relationship harmony is coming up here. And I see with this Page of Wands, I don't know why, but I'm feeling for some of you this feels like a long distance connection. I don't typically get that with the Page of Wands, but just reading this card intuitively, it just feels that she's waiting for someone or looking for someone off in the distance. And you can see here she's holding a red rose, which symbolizes love. And there are, like, to me, this looks like a love letter or message here that she's opened. It feels long distance to me. It feels like with the page, there's definitely chemistry, there's passion, communication being significant here. But I also see there's a lot of fears here. So kind of dialing it back here to this mentor energy, you guys. You know, the mentor is about always being a forever student, not assuming that you know everything, right? A mentor is somebody who can guide us, somebody who can lead us, provide us perspective, provide wisdom. I feel intuitively that this mentor energy is your energy going into the next 6 months, meaning that this group has learned a lot about themselves. You've learned a lot about relationships. You have a higher level of wisdom and understanding of yourself and the way that you show up in relationships and the lessons you've learned from relationships. But you're still learning. You're never going to just be the expert on everything. The mentor archetype is about being that forever student and humbling yourself and knowing that, hey, yes, I know a lot. I have a lot to offer, but I'm still on my own learning journey and attaining wisdom. It's interesting too, because this number 6 is making me think of the Lover's card, right? So this definitely feels for a lot of you like a soulmate sort of energy that's coming up. This situation is going to help you to even further your learning and awareness of self and relationships. I do feel that you all have some fears that you're moving through in the next 6 months, potentially around this relationship. We're going to get more cards here, but I do see fear in relationships or fear in general anxieties. It feels tied to the relationship because we have this sort of romantic energy of the Devil card being here as well. The Devil energy being here can talk about relationships that are enmeshed or relationships that can feel toxic or just any sort of fears with it. Like, I'm getting anxiety for this group that maybe you guys have struggled with in the past or may struggle with in the future, with feeling a bit anxious or preoccupied in relationships in some way. It could be an issue with closeness or lack thereof. But there's really a lot of love. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of chemistry that I'm getting from this. It doesn't feel all bad by any means. You know, life is nuanced. It's not always all rainbows and sunshine. It's not always all bad. I want to get more clarity, though, before I keep going. So for pile 1, tell us a little bit more about what's happening for them the next 6 months. What do they need to know? As I parted the deck, we have the Door to Romance coming up here. So let's see. It's possible for some of you that long distance connections bring up anxiety for you. Let's see. We have Healer of the Ages. Okay, let's continue. Ooh, hold on. We have Action. Door to personal healing and happiness. So things starting to get better for you. All right, what's happening here for you guys the next 6 months? Yeah, this, I feel like you guys are connecting with someone toward the beginning of this 6-month period. It might even just be a connection that ends up being a little bit more casual, or a connection that's a little more laid back, because there's an energy of healing. So it's like, for some of you, you might be coming into this reading having gone through a really tough time in a relationship, or going through a breakup. So connecting with this new person is allowing you to heal some of your stuff, because we do heal through connecting with other people. You don't always have to heal all by yourself, right? Sometimes it takes connecting with a person who is on the same wavelength as you, who can show you traits and qualities that you need to heal. But for others of you, I feel that healing is happening throughout the 6 months because of this connection. There's clearly things here. There are clearly things here with the Nine of Swords and the Devil. There are clearly items here that need to be addressed during this time, that are coming up to the surface for you during this time. Maybe triggers, old wounds. It definitely feels like a preoccupied sort of energy, an anxious energy with connections that is coming up here. And like I was saying, the Devil, it can have a lot of different meanings. There is definitely passion and chemistry that I feel between you and this person, no doubt. There's love here, this gigantic red rose, okay? We have the red rose here. There's a lot of symbolism for me that feels like love and passion. But the Devil can also talk about like toxic relationships, codependency. It can talk about enmeshment, like I was saying before. I feel though too, like if we look at the symbolism in this card, hopefully YouTube is not going to censor me for this, but if you notice how they're like in this passionate embrace, and they've got this beautiful rose, but there's also the thorns that are cutting them up, right? So it's like, to me, this is symbolic of you guys learning to understand the nuances in relationships, that not everything is always going to be hearts and flowers 24/7. Like there are going to be, with the beautiful rose petals, sometimes come the thorns. It's all part of the big picture. So this could be emblematic of like learning to embrace one another's negative traits and qualities, or things like that, not just the positive traits and qualities. Okay, so yes, so during this time you guys are healing. You're moving through a period of healing through this connection, and learning with the Mentor card through this connection. Fast movement coming up too with this action card. Again, this is bringing up for me some sort of travel sort of energy, or long distance energy. It's also making me feel like during this time, things are moving, right? Things are moving along. Your healing is moving along. You're taking action toward putting in the work toward this connection, but also toward your own healing and understanding of self. Let's see what else. Tell us more. The next 6 months for pile 1. We have Pallas Athena. Definitely lots of thinking energy with that Nine of Swords. Tell me more. Ooh, we also have the Midheaven. I feel this really blissful energy, though, as I'm tapping into this for you guys. Like, this feels very positive and beautiful to me. Like, I dare say, it almost feels like the energy of being in love with someone. I don't know. I haven't felt that in a reading like really ever, I don't think. So it's kind of cool to feel this. Infatuation too, for sure, coming up mixed into that. But so when I see Pallas Athena coming up, this is about being logical and being an intellect, moving with intellect and logic. And it's also about your confidence to speak your mind and to speak your thoughts. The way I'm also feeling that I see this is, you know, there's a healing energy of anxiety coming up here. And the Nine of Swords is an energy of where we're overthinking things a lot, right? It's an energy where we're kind of thinking the worst or assuming the negative of something, ruminating over something, being really preoccupied over something that may not even really warrant all of that thought that we're giving it, all the energy that we're giving it. So I feel like this is a time where you guys are healing this and learning to think about things a bit more calmly and rationally and logically. And I feel like this person that you guys are connecting with is helping to support this for you, because I do feel that this is a person that's showing up for you in a positive way, at least based off what I see so far. But yeah, Pallas Athena is confidence. It's about being like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. So communication in relationships is coming up. I also feel with the midheaven, it's communication in work-related matters as well, or just, the midheaven has to do with kind of like what we're known for in a sense. So being known for positive communication, being known for the wisdom that you can offer. Like this is really tying in with the wisdom. It's about thinking things through and just being a bit more logical versus allowing anything reactive. Page of Wands can be a little bit like, not necessarily reactive, but it's like impulsive, So with Page of Wands, Knight of Swords next to each other, during this time, healing impulsive thoughts and tapping into your higher self, your wisdom, the lessons you've already learned so that we're not repeating the cycles from the past. Midheaven energy is interesting too. Like for some of you guys, I do feel like there is a little bit of a work or career element to this, especially with the action, the midheaven and Pallas Athena and the devil can talk about like, I feel like Capricorn energy with that. So there could be something coming up with career too. For some of you, maybe the relationship that we're talking about is career oriented and somebody in your workplace that's helping you to heal through these issues. Again, it's a general reading, so take it how it feels like it resonates for you. But midheaven sort of talks about like our relationship to authority, right? Like how do we show up as the authority in our own life? How do we feel when other people are in charge of us, right? It kind of goes back to childhood energies with that. But it's kind of interesting that it's coming up here next to the devil with this sort of enmeshed energy. I feel like during this time, this group is also learning and healing this energy of making sure that you're still remaining the authority in your own life and not allowing another person to solely dictate how you feel, how you think, what you do. Not saying that you guys necessarily did that in the past or did it consciously, but that enmeshment kind of codependent energy, this can definitely happen where our self-worth and our self-esteem and the choices we make can be so wrapped up in another person that we lose sight of ourselves. So I feel this is something you all are working on during this time. So let's see. We're going to go in with this cute little Pantha Oracle. This one tends to give us a little bit more blunt information. So let's see what else we can get for you. Tell me more about what's happening in the next 6 months with pile number 1. We're going to get clarifiers on all these tarot cards. So tell us a little bit more. What's happening in the next 6 months for pile 1? That one flew out. We have overload, assessment, obligation, overwhelm. Kind of makes sense with that anxiety energy coming up here. This person coming in could be somebody who's helping you, assisting you in some way with the things that you're feeling overwhelmed with. Again, I feel like this connection is helping to heal some sort of anxieties that you guys are dealing with. What else is happening? We have blessing, fulfillment, well-being, and enlightenment. So there's positive energy coming through for you guys in the next 6 months. I love the key word of enlightenment here because this is really tying in well with the mentor, right? you guys are coming into the next 6 months with a higher level of awareness coming into this connection than you have in connections past. And so I feel that's already setting you up for success. Well-being, like kind of tying back to some of this energy over here, right? You still have your own identity and autonomy outside of whatever is going on in this connection. So focusing on you and not getting lost in the connection is key. Okay, what else is coming up for pile 1 during the next 6 months? We have pride, self-esteem, self-worth, and ego. Interesting. Okay, let's get another one. Oh, we have eternal love. Oh, I love this. Eternity, consistency, and soulmate. This is so cute, you guys. I want to cry. It reminds me of my grandparents. Okay, so definitely feels very strongly that this person, this connection that's coming in for you is something that I think really has a lot of potential to go the distance here. I don't always get this in my readings, you guys, so I'm really excited that we're getting this energy, and I really hope that it's resonating for you. It definitely feels like a connection that has a lot of potential to go the distance if it's something that you want, because it's focused on like eternal love, like long-term, growing old together. This is my person for life. Okay. You guys have, some stuff. There's still stuff that you're going to be working through with this person. This card is really interesting. It's giving like this energy of, this has a work kind of element to it as well, but maybe you guys are meeting this person at work, or this is a person that you're already dating at work or something. I don't know. It just feels like there's an element of career or work tied into this for some of you guys. But this, with the 9 of Swords, it's kind of like, is the communication issue or the anxieties kind of holding you back from communicating clearly, right? Some of you guys too, with this card, the way that it is depicted, it's like this person is kind of like leaning back, wearing the crown, like, no, you come to me. You're coming to me. I don't go to you. You come to me. Yet there's anxiety here about it. I've seen this before where like sometimes, I don't know like the term for it. There's all sorts of different attachment styles. You guys can like research that, but there's definitely a certain type of attachment style or like thing that people struggle with where they kind of like expect someone to come to them, or they avoid, like, how do I explain it to you? I wish I knew the term that I'm trying to explain, because I know somebody who does this and we've talked about it before. But it's like you cut them off before they have the opportunity to cut you off. You know what I mean? But the whole time it's like you're worried and anxious and fearful inside and needing that reassurance, but there's too much pride to just ask for that reassurance and make yourself vulnerable to ask for it. Hopefully that makes sense. So I feel that this could be something some of you are dealing with, right? With that 9 of Swords. During this time, it's about learning that it's okay to speak up. And it doesn't say anything less about you or make you feel like look weak to just say, hey, like, here's what I'm feeling. I feel anxious, when XYZ, can you reassure me? Like, that doesn't make you weak. It actually just makes you like functional. You're communicating your needs. All right, so we're going to close this out, pile 1, with some of these little fortune cookie cards to see what other messages we can get. So tell us more for pile 1 about the next 6 months. What else should they know? We have travel. Didn't I say long distance? Long distance communication will open up your life, exciting experiences for singles, and career advancement for others. So kind of all those things were touched on in your reading. Tell us a little bit more. Next 6 months for pile 1, please. Wisdom. To focus on the past is to lose the future. Heed advice from an older person, which will allow you to move on. See, this makes so much sense with the the mentor coming up, you guys. And it's interesting that we have an elderly couple here. There could be some sort of lesson to be learned from an elder or, a grandparent, or even, someone in your family, someone in your space who is more mature, more experienced than you. But again, this is about not making the same mistakes as we've made before, because now we know better. We know the situation better. We know ourselves better. Okay. What else for pile 1? The next 6 months. We have positive work outcomes. Consistent efforts will bring rewards, and a major purchase is worth making. Okay. These are fun. These may not all resonate for everyone, but I'm curious to know how you guys feel about these in the comments for sure. Change. A change of residence, partner, career, or job is on the cards. You're restless and in need of a change, and this is exactly what is coming your way. So beautiful, you guys. Definitely just kind of confirms a lot of the different messages. Look at this too. We have communication. A reunion could bring love or a rekindling of friendships. A lucky win seems likely. So pile one, you just have this beautiful, amazing energy coming up for you in the next 6 months, and I'm really excited to hear how it plays out. So please comment below. Let me know what you're feeling about this reading. How do you feel this might be resonant to the things that you've got going on in your life currently, coming into it? Comment below. I want to hear from you. And definitely, if you can, come back and tell me how it's played out for you. If you guys are not already, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated when I post the next reading. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Bye. Hi, pile 2. If you all selected the Kyanite sphere, this will be your reading, so welcome in. We will be looking into the next 6 months of your life in this reading. So on the table right now, I've got an archetype card here, which is going to represent kind of the overall energy of the next 6 months for you. And we're going to also be getting into the tarot here in just a moment. So let's take a look and see what we have. All right, overall energy for pile 2, we've got the ring. Okay, very interesting. I want to get some tarot, and then we'll kind of get into what this is talking about. So for pile 2, please let us know what is ahead for them in the next 6 months. So I'm just going to start talking. The ring is talking about a couple things. So it's talking about cycles, endings and beginnings. I'm also feeling an energy of commitment here. So committing to something. Let's just see though, for pile 2, tell us a little bit about what is going on for them in the next 6 months. What is this ring energy talking about? Oh, hold on. Too many. Tell us more, please. Pile 2. Okay, we've got the 5 of Cups. Oh, wow, we have the Tower. Okay, pile 2, here we go. Page of Pentacles. The Devil. Okay, my pile 2 viewers, the next 6 months. Very interesting. Well, the ring is very interesting because this does talk about cycles. It talks about patterns. I feel like you guys are getting ready to break through a cycle or a pattern coming up here. I'm getting very cosmic energy from this card as well. So it's making me feel like this is sort of destined change coming up for you. A destined ending so that a new beginning can begin, okay? You guys have some tougher energies, I'm not going to lie, coming into like the next 6 months or so. We've got the 5 of Cups to start us off. So there's something that you all are disappointed in. And with it being right next to the Tower here, I do feel like this group is going to be going through a pretty major shakeup in the next 6 months, okay? This Tower energy is intense, right? It talks about really drastic change. This tree was literally here and the lightning has struck it down and all these birds are now having to scatter. And it's like kind of a stormy, it's kind of a scary looking energy, right? But what I want to say to you guys that I feel really hopeful about when I'm tapping into this energy is looking at this 5 of Cups, right? The Five of Cups is about sadness. It's about loss, kind of like the Tower. It's about disappointments, grief. It's the energy of feeling like we've made a mistake or we've spilled all of our cups and we have nothing left. But through this error, this mistake, this loss that you guys are experiencing in the next 6 months is coming a new garden that's being planted and sown. Because if you guys notice here, even though she's like stressing here because she dumped out all of her cups, what are they doing here? Well, they've been dumped into this water, into this flower bed, which is to me symbolic of new growth, right? So the mistake or the error or the thing that's being removed from your life is actually clearing space for a new opportunity for growth for you. And that's kind of how it is, right? It's the cycle of endings and beginnings, like the ring talks about. It's the universe is pushing you guys into the next chapter, whether you're ready or not. Okay. Now, with the Page of Pentacles coming up here, this is where I see you guys kind of stepping into this new experience. Page of Pentacles it's about kind of starting a new journey of learning, education, career, finances. It can be any of these themes, right? But the Page of Pentacles is a student. So I definitely feel that you guys are immersing yourselves into this new beginning, right? Understanding that you're new to it. You know, you're building something new. You're stepping into something new. Now is the time for you to really soak in all of the resources that you can so that you can really understand where you're going and what you need to do. I do notice here that she's holding these coins. She's got a lot of money stacked up here. So I feel for some of you guys guided to say, like, if money or finances are an issue, it does feel like this group has resources. Even if it doesn't seem like you do, I feel that there are other resources out there that are there to support you that you just have to look for during this time. Because it's there. It's right there in the card. So yeah, you guys are starting something new. It's a new beginning. And if we take a look here at these grapes, do you notice how some of them are kind of ripened and purple and others of them are not ripened yet? You guys are already going into this with some level of knowledge, some level of understanding, some level of expertise, right? It just may not be exactly where you want it to be as quickly as you want because you're literally starting something over. Now, with the Devil card coming up here, this is really interesting because to me, what I'm guided to say with this is for this group, there has to be a willingness to kind of just release the thing that's being taken from you. You know, a lot of times when we see cards like the Tower come up, there can be this adversity to change, resistance to change. Easier said than done to just accept, you know, a chaotic energy into your life or to just accept that, you know, something that you're so attached to is leaving, right? But I feel if you guys are struggling to kind of let it go and just kind of flow with the change, it's going to cause you to really cling to the past. It's going to cause you to really cling to old stuff, old patterns, old energies that are not going to serve you as you're trying to cultivate this new beginning for yourself. So those are kind of the initial energies I see. Let's take a look at a few more decks to see what other insights we can get. Pile 2, please tell us what is happening for them in the next 6 months. It's kind of like, you know, a lot of your cards actually are giving me this message of that you still have things that you need to be okay. There's money here. I see apples here at the bottom of this tree. So it's like, even though there's been this Tower moment, there's food. There are resources that are salvageable. Same thing here with the spilled cups. It's growing new plants. And if you guys actually look, well, I guess behind her it's like a stone path, but it almost looks like a barren land behind her in a sense, right? So there's a lot of indication here that even though you guys might be moving through this cycle of change and having to let something go, you're still supported. So let's see, pile 2. Tell us a little bit more about, please, the next 6 months. What else do they need to know about this energy? We have the broken heart. Yeah. What else for pile 2? The Angel of Love. Beautiful. I feel for some of you guys with the broken heart coming up, this could have to do with the ending of a relationship potentially. Now there are other things in life that can cause a broken heart besides just a romantic relationship ending, but I feel that for some of you guys, especially with the ring coming up, which talks about commitment. I kind of feel for some of you guys with this Angel of Love coming up here that this Devil card could actually be somebody coming into your life that's new. Because this card talks about intimacy and tender connections and healing. And this card is definitely giving me the energy of intimacy as well. We have the red rose here, which can talk of, to me, it means love. But there's love around you is what I'm getting at with that. There's love around you during this time, even though to me, the broken heart energy coming up feels obvious because you guys have a lot of change that you're moving through. There's definitely pile 2 an energy of like losing something during this time or being disappointed. Just the change that's coming is just really jarring, you know? And so I do feel kind of guided to say with this little teardrop that's coming out of the heart, I feel like you guys just allowing yourselves to be emotional and to, you know, express how you feel, whatever it is going to be really healthy for you during this time. Because even though like the way that I'm delivering this reading, I'm trying to be positive and optimistic and kind of help you see the bigger picture of like the blessing that the change is going to bring in, it doesn't necessarily mean that that takes away from the pain that you feel when something is removed from your life, right? And you don't want to spiritually bypass and just like, you know, well, big picture, change is going to be great. Like, no, it's okay to acknowledge that it hurts. You know what I mean? I feel like that is actually going to be very healing to you and very helpful to you if you allow yourself to feel how you feel. So like, it's okay to feel negative. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to feel like upset about whatever is happening in your life. Let's see what else for pile 2. Tell us more. What is happening in the next 6 months for pile number 2? We have Sagittarius, expand. What else? We have the first house, arrival. We also have 9th house energy here. So 9th house and Sagittarius are linked. So yeah, okay. So definitely with the first house coming up, it's new. Definitely giving me the energy of new experiences for sure, especially with that Page of Pentacles. It's kind of confirming you all are starting a new cycle, a new chapter, stepping into a new experience. When I see the first house too, I'm also kind of guided to say that like the way that you choose to view the situation will impact how you feel and the outcomes that you're able to create for yourself. But yes, the first house, you're arriving into a new experience here that is allowing you with Sagittarius to expand. Now, it's interesting because the 9th house and Sagittarius kind of share themes here. So with Sagittarius coming up, this can be talking about themes around travel, like foreign travel or long distance travel, higher education and learning, which is coming through here with this Page of Pentacles. Sagittarius energy can also be talking about like spirituality and religion and things like that. Some of you could be leaning into spirituality, religion, philosophy to help understand and make sense of your circumstances, or to help you just move through this time. This could also be the thing some of you guys are studying during this time. But kind of all those themes are playing into that with that Page of Pentacles as well. So it seems to me, pile 2, that something may not work out the way that you had planned, but there's a lesson to be learned from it, and it's still salvageable. Like there's a new beginning coming in for you. Something is being removed so that you can focus on creating a new beginning for yourself. You're being redirected here by the universe. So let's see, for pile 2, we're going to use this little Pantha Oracle. This one tends to be kind of blunt, so I'm definitely curious to see what we can get. We're going to get some clarity for each one of these tarot cards. So tell us more about what is happening in the next 6 months for pile 2. We have indulgence, interaction, joy, and friendliness. You guys have, like, kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, you guys have people around you that are supporting you, that are there for you during this time. Your girlfriends, your friends, whoever. It just seems like whatever you're going through, there's support that's wanting to be lent to you. You're not alone. We have imagination, variety, fantasy, and the mind. Let's see what else we get. We have pride. Well, we have loneliness. Okay, interesting. Okay, I feel for some of you guys, so dialing back over here. So with the Tower and the Imagination card coming up, the way that I read this is that this Tower energy is allowing you to reimagine something in your life, to create something new for yourself. This is like a little child here too that's kind of playing with their dinosaurs. This is a time where you can really lean into your inner child and lean into your creativity and think like a kid again, in a positive sense, meaning what would you imagine the situation to look like? Now that it's been wiped away, you've had the realization, you've had this thing happen, you now have this opportunity to create it again, to create something new and different and better. So if you were like the little kid version of you and you didn't have the adult filter on and you were thinking of the most craziest, wildest dream, what would it be? Because now's the time for you to be able to create that for yourself and get inspiration to pursue that for yourself. I think for some of you guys, an obstacle that could be coming up here again, like with this Page of Pentacles and pride, it's going to be important for you to remember that, like, yes, you are coming in with resources. You do have support. You do come in here with some form of knowledge, but you don't know everything, right? The page is telling me that you are still new and you are still going to need to be in that learning mode. So with this card coming up here, it's like he's just sitting there and he's like, I don't have to ask for help, you know? Don't allow pride and ego to prevent you from seeking out the resources you need, the questions you need to ask, the help that you want to receive, because that's only going to hold you back from your growth. I do think that it's interesting that the self-esteem and self-worth cards are coming up here as well. I think that there is going to be, because of everything you guys are going through, that's definitely going to be tested during this time. This is an interesting energy because I kind of feel this devil energy is definitely a connection for some of you. And I feel that, like, some of you guys that are watching pile number 2 that were drawn to pile 2, you may be actually connecting with a love interest to curb loneliness or to curb, like, take the edge off of some of the stuff you're going through. And, hey, listen, I'm not even saying that's wrong. You know what I mean? If it's helping you to feel better, it feels with the Angel of Love like this is quite healing. So if you feel like it's the right choice for you to connect with someone in this way to help, I do see it coming through for you. So pile 2, let's take a look. We're going to close it out with these little fortune cookie oracle cards. What does pile 2 need to know about the next 6 months? Yeah, so we've got difficult times. Be on your guard against chaos as unforeseen perils or emotional upheaval are foretold. So, that's not really anything different than what we've already been talking about. Pile 2. What else? We have twists and turns. Carefully made plans could be thrown out the window as major changes and interruptions surround you. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing. It's like there's something here where you guys thought it was going to go a certain way, and then just like something is coming in and throwing you a curveball. Make sure you get lots of rest to cope with all the upheaval. Okay, what else for pile 2? We have commitment. A commitment is indicated around love or business. It will make you feel better. See, the ring is talking about commitment, which is so interesting, group 2. And I see something here with the Devil card too. You guys can also be, like, this can be talking about the work stuff, like the Page of Pentacles stuff that you're committing to as well. Whether it's school or career, etc. We also have signs. Your future positive direction will reveal itself. Any doubts and confusions will soon disappear. We also have major life change here at the bottom. Time is right for major life changes as a new lifestyle or location brings great joy and a trouble-free existence. You see, so even though you guys are about to be moving through this period where things are going to feel maybe a little chaotic or intense, or it might feel a little scary for some of you, I do feel that ultimately it's leading you and redirecting you towards something better in your life. So I think for this group, like I was saying earlier, it's just going to be about sort of not resisting the change, but flowing with it as best as you possibly can, and definitely leaning on your inner circle and your support during this time to assist you. Whew. All right, so pile 2. Thank you so much for viewing this reading. I hope that you made it till the end. Please comment below. Let me know what you feel this might be referring to. How do you feel that it resonates with you and your personal situation? If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated once I post the next reading. And I do look forward to seeing you then. Bye. Hey, pile 3. If you guys selected this pyrite sphere, this will be your reading. And we are going to be looking into the next 6 months and what is in store for you as the energy stands today. So here on the table, we've got a card that's sort of representing the overall energy for you for the next 6 months. And we're going to go ahead and get tons of information here with some other decks shuffled on camera. All right, so for you guys, overall energy, we have the Forest coming up. So I'm definitely curious to kind of dig in and see more info here from the tarot. But the Forest is kind of telling me that you guys are getting ready the next 6 months to go on a little bit of an adventure, okay? It's giving like The Hobbit. Like it's time for another adventure kind of vibes. This card really talks about moving into the unknown, you know, like, isn't there a song about that in Frozen, Into the Unknown? I don't know. I'm getting all the movie references today for your reading, pile 3. But that's what I feel. You're going into the unknown. You're moving into an adventure. The Forest archetype really talks about stepping into the forest and not knowing really where you're going. You know, you're just kind of going, you're exploring. The path isn't super clear. And it's sort of this energy of getting lost so that you can find yourself, or getting lost so that you can be found. The Forest, you know, this archetype talks about how there are, you know, tricksters in the forest, and then there's also like magical fairy beings in the forest. So I feel like the next 6 months, you guys are just going to be encountering all sorts of different things as you're finding yourself, you know, or moving through this experience. So the next 6 months, the path forward may be a bit unclear, but it's supposed to be like that. Let's see why. So for pile 3, what is happening for them in the next 6 months? Please tell us more about this Forest energy. Ooh, 9 of Pentacles. Okay, what else? Seven of Wands. Nine of Wands. Hanged Man. Number 9 coming up twice. So closing out a cycle, ending of a chapter. Some of you guys might be coming into this reading just like really wanting clarity. And I'm here to tell you that it is coming. But this next 6 months, I think you guys are going to really have to get comfortable with the unknown and not knowing every little thing, not knowing how everything is going to work out for you. It's like a little bit of an ambiguous time. I see really good things. I see some challenges. So let's dig in here. Pile 3. Well, the 9 of Pentacles is like a beautiful energy to start off this reading because this talks about prosperity and abundance. Okay. I don't know if you guys coming into this are feeling really prosperous and abundant or feeling really financially secure and stable. Maybe this is something you guys are trying to manifest or attract in for some of you, something you're desiring here. But I see you starting off feeling really clear about this. With the sun shining, it's either something you already have or something that you just know that you want, okay? Something you know that you're aspiring to. We've got the clarity on it. A lot of this group, I feel you've done a lot of work to get to this place. You know, this is definitely a place of being established in your life, having all the resources and the support that you need to cultivate whatever you want for yourself. You know, it's entrepreneurship energy, having financial freedom, things of that nature. I was immediately drawn when I looked at this card too to the person in the back. So I kind of feel for this group that there's an element of partnership or relationships that are significant during this time. I actually see it here too with the 7 of Wands. What I kind of feel is that during the next 6 months, you guys are sort of working to almost like defend this energy. Protect it in a sense, because if we look at this 7 of Wands, I get it here too. There's a lot of protection energy, like wanting to protect the assets here. With the 7 of Wands, you guys see how they're kind of like trying to blockade out this flood from coming into their space. That's the way that I see this card. So there's this energy of protection of your resources. Maybe because of the fact that you guys are moving through an experience that feels a little ambiguous, an experience that you're not familiar with. There's an energy of feeling like you need to defend yourself or protect yourself through that. Protect your resources. And it's here too with the 9 of Wands with the scarecrow energy. You see, scarecrows are meant to scare away. It's meant to protect the crops and to scare away the crows, right? So there's an energy here with this 7 of Wands and the 9 of Wands of defensiveness and guardedness, protection, wanting to protect yourself. You know, the forest energy, like I was saying, it is an unknown. It's ambiguous. It has the potential to be an adventure for you guys to kind of move through this experience like it's a really fun adventure. But what I see here is a little bit of this like resistance to surrendering to that until we get to the ending of the 6 months. Now, the forest card can also talk about like, you know, when you really immerse yourself into that experience, you will experience tough and trying times, just as you'll experience positive energy too. But I feel like by the end of the 6 month period, you guys with this Hanged Man are seeing your situation from a new perspective. There's an opportunity here for a new beginning. The sun is shining again. So just like you guys starting off the reading with the sun shining, with clarity and happiness, you're finding a new... It's like the sun is shining its light onto something new for you at the end of this time. With the Hanged Man coming up here too, I'm feeling for some of you guys like during the next 6 months, you might actually feel like you're not really making a lot of progress. You might actually feel really lost or really stuck, or you might just be feeling like, ugh, when are things going to change for me? There's a lot of tough energy around this. But at the end of the 6 month cycle, I do feel things are going to start moving for you again, because you see how he's kind of thought out here. You're receiving the enlightenment that you need. Pile 3. In order to make a fresh start. It's kind of like you're coming out of the forest by the end of the 6 months. All right, let's see. What is coming through for pile 3 in the next 6 months? We have the storm warning. We have the door to personal healing and happiness. We also have adjacent possibilities here. So there's the undertone of trying a new path, which is the forest. It's like, I feel for this group, a lot of what you've known is being challenged and questioned during this time. Because the storm warning, it's like you guys are starting off the 6 months with this really abundant, prosperous energy, things feeling really clear. But the storm warning is telling me that you know that there's something about your situation that's not sustainable or that might be at risk. And so the next 6 months is about protecting and defending what you have, but also putting in the work to push through, to close out this chapter and to get away from whatever is the red flag that's coming up for you. I feel maybe like a lot of this group have a lot of your happiness tied into like money, which, I mean, listen, I get it. It does make life easier when you have money, that's for sure. But there's something about this next 6 months where you're learning to find happiness from other resources besides just the financial aspect of things. I also feel like in the next 6 months, this door to personal healing and happiness is talking about positive changes coming in your personal life, right? And even though I see some kind of tough energies here toward the middle of the 6 month period, coming out of it, you have this realization of what does make you happy. And I see this little glimmer here, like of the door opening up for you for this new opportunity for positive change to your situation. Okay, let's see. For pile 3. The next 6 months, what's ahead for them? Ooh, we've got Jupiter energy, abundance. Yes, you guys. What else? I'm hearing more money, more problems. That's so random. We also have the Palace Athena. We have Cancer energy here. So for some of you guys, this could be having to do with like themes around family, home, comforts, things of that nature. But yeah, it's like there's definitely this energy of like you guys having a lot of money or a lot of abundance coming into this 6 month period. Maybe you guys are coming into some money that you weren't expecting for some. But like the Jupiter card is really positive because Jupiter is an energy of making things bigger, like more abundance. And with it being here next to the 9 of Pentacles, it's definitely making me feel like you guys have more, like you're getting more money or you're getting more resources. You're calling in more abundance into your life. But it's weird because there's something about it that's causing a problem too, that you feel that you have to defend yourself. Hence why I was hearing more money, more problems. We also have Palace Athena coming up here. This is about wisdom. It's about thinking clearly. It's about confidently expressing yourself and your needs. Actually, I want to pull from the guidebook for this one really quickly. All right. This says, ask for help when you need it, and divine answers will reveal themselves. You can think through the situation with a combination of rigorous logic, a real curiosity about the truth, all connected to an open heart. This card talks about wisdom, intellect, skill, strategy, and defense. It's like this card to me is talking about being able to take on a challenge. And I feel like you guys are taking on a challenge as it pertains to whatever this energy is. Like, for some of you, it might not necessarily be literal money. This could be symbolizing entrepreneurship too for some of you, especially with this like Cancer energy at the bottom. I wouldn't be surprised if this group, there's a few of you out there that are like supporting a family business or something like that. It's becoming like a really big deal in your life with Jupiter. But the Pallas Athena is coming through because it's about you guys being able to take on this challenge. Like, you're able to do it, even though it feels unfamiliar territory to you, and maybe it's not fully clear how it's all going to pan out. You're capable of rising to this challenge. Let's see. We're going to get some clarifiers here with this little Pantha Oracle. So let's see what else we can learn for you, pile 3. So let's see. What's coming up in the next 6 months, please, for pile number 3? We have reservation. This says desire, worth, and extravagance. Maybe some of you guys are buying a new car or bought a new car, or like you're getting some sort of new accoutrement, you know? The other message I was kind of picking up on from the Jupiter and the Nine of Pentacles was a message of excess too. There might be something about your lifestyle that's excessive that you guys are reevaluating during this time and really trying to understand, is this what makes me happy or is this causing me problems? Let's see. We have aid. Somebody's helping you. Remember, I was kind of getting that with both of these cards at the beginning. You guys are getting some sort of support during this time. You're not alone. This talks about charity, kindness. Some of you guys could be giving to charity with some of the resources that you have, but I'm really guided to say you're being lent a helping hand here. You're not in this alone. What else for pile 3, the next 6 months? Ooh, we have fate. Coincidence, fatalism, fortune telling. Okay. This could be something that you guys have predicted out coming into fruition for you. Others of you, there could be astrology or tarot coming up for you as a significant tool or resources during this time. We also have fright, depression, phobia, and paranoid. More money, more problems. I'm telling you guys. We have indulgence here at the bottom. So yeah, there's definitely a theme about like indulgence and just excess, extravagance coming up for this group. There's something about this time, this 6 months for you guys, where I do feel there are a lot of ups and downs here. But you are going to be okay either way. There's support. This situation, I feel, is like fated. It's destined to sort of like help you guys learn about what it is that really makes you happy. Because there's something about your situation where it's causing you to kind of overthink things a lot or to feel like kind of backed into a corner. Kind of that's the energy here too. It's like you guys have all this abundance, but it's like you're backed into a corner by something or someone. So it's an interesting metaphor. I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think this is talking about in your life. Let's see. We're going to close it out, pile 3, with some of these little fortune cookie cards. So for pile 3, please tell us about the next 6 months and what they have in store. Jealousy. Watch who you trust with your personal secrets and plans. Spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and replenish. The forest, you see? There could actually be like a physical element of you guys going outside more during the 6 months, going into nature, going camping, something like that. But I kind of feel that's part of what's going on here is like the jealousy energy is like maybe the red flag here. It is like more money, more problems. Like there are people around you that you're feeling like you have to protect your assets around them, or I don't know. It's just kind of a message of like not telling everybody your personal business about your life. You know what I mean? Let's see. Like maybe avoid talking about your money with other people for some reason. Okay. Care required. Guard yourself against deception and be careful of making foolish mistakes at this time. You see, guarded energy with the 7 of Wands. I think you guys are really making sure that you're managing through the next 6 months very carefully, protecting yourself. We do have challenges. Take time out from problems or conflicts, or approach softly to avoid making matters worse. Okay. We have friendship. A friend needs your help, your kindness, and excellent counseling skills will put them back on track. See, a lot of you guys are lending a helping hand to somebody during this time. Look at this. We also have declutter. Declutter your life. Let go of correspondence, objects, and people you no longer want. Someone will hurt your feelings and reveal a new side of themselves that you may wish to avoid. See, there's definitely this excessive energy that you guys are coming into terms with at the beginning of this time period. And it's like, I feel this energy of decluttering excess because you feel like something about it is not sustainable. You could be just feeling like it's attracting negativity to you, or feeling the need to take from your own resources to provide for someone else in some way. But it definitely looks like the next 6 months are going to be very interesting, pile 3. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Please let me know how you feel that this resonates with your life and the things that you've got going on. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated once I post the next reading. And I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.